Alright, I gotta get going. Gotta go check out how my car is doing. Right now, I have my Nissan GTR here because of a common issue that you would find on a car pertaining to the years of 2009 and 2016. So what I'm talking about is the bell housing. Now, as for the 2009 and 2016 models, the bell housing was one of the weaker designs that Nissan made for the car, and over time the bearings inside would start to kind of eat itself, and it'll get loose, and you'll start hearing rattling within the bell housing to a certain extent. As I drove mine completely broke and obliterated. The shaft is just loosely in there now, and so a solution for that, well, not technically, it's not 100% foolproof solution, but there's basically a couple of options you can get. You can either just get a used bell housing, which are pretty inexpensive compared to like a 2017 bell housing, and with the 2017 ones, they revised the bell housing design a little bit to where they made it more durable, but over time it'll still have the same issues, and I did not go with that option. I went with a I wouldn't say aftermarket, but what they do is that they take the old bell housings and then they drill out the hole, put a different bearing in, and it becomes structurally more stable and lasts longer. And so I'm here at Horsepower Barns today to come check in on my car because they told me they're taking it apart, and there's a few other issues that they want to point out to me, so I'm here to come check it out. Hey, Charles, what's up?
I'm just ordering parts.
Yeah, I'm vlogging.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I want to try to make it on YouTube,
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm just ordering some parts.
Yeah? I just saw David.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's been in and out all day long.
Oh, really? What's going on with his?
He ordered injectors, and they were going over some intercooler stuff.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I heard he got the too big of an intercooler, I guess.
Way too big.
So, yeah.
Like, he wanted X amount of horsepower, and then he ordered an intercooler that doesn't start working until almost twice his horsepower goal.
Oh,
like
so
it's good to like 1,400 to 2,000 horsepower, and he wants to make 700 horsepower.
So is the issue like because it runs air too cool or something?
No,
it
becomes compressing that much area with too small a turbos, so they overspin in it.
Oh,
over time, it's just really hard on it.
All right. All right. So what's the update?
I actually had to switch gears as soon as parts come in for these, so I was
working
on these. But, so here's your leak coming out of this rear seal. It's not detrimental. It's not a huge leak, but notice we got some leaking going on back here on this that might want to be addressed. It would be this seal right in here. You also have whoever did the downpipes, we've got a helicoil. They aren't flush. This side's not too bad, but this side over here, if you see the soot all over the bell housing and the cylinder head, it's leaking.
Oh,
So I'm going to go in there before I put them back in. We really should put some new gaskets on it.
for the
Downpipes.
Okay.
Yeah, and because right here, I'm going to go in and try and get that shield done enough and try and get this helicoil here is raised up some.
You're gonna
It's
try
not
to
flush, so I'm going to try and just scuzzy wheel it down flat.
the wire wheel dig to the job.
I'm gonna seal this off and cover this, and then just use a scuzzy wheel and try and knock down the high spot.
Okay.
From the rib neck. So rib neck's not gonna be real hard. I should be able to get some of that knocked down. But yeah, it's some of that is, and then Andy also found where your downpipe has a crack in it.
Oh,
that
what?
we might want to weld up also. So
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, all these modifications were done prior to me purchasing the car, so this is a previous owner. I didn't know about it.
aftermarket performance parts usually don't live, the miles that an OE does. So, but you still would expect it to last, 20, 30,000 miles at
Yeah.
least. So,
Pretty much an inexperienced person putting so much heat into this to get penetration, and this is so thin because the materials are such different thicknesses that it cooks where it touches the thin stuff, and then it cracks. That's why you see it crack not in the middle of the weld, but right where the weld meets the steel. It's
Gotcha.
pretty much compromised that. So I can put one over the top of it, but any penetration, you can't clean them enough to get the soot out of it. So there's
to get new downpipes.
the solution is to get a new downpipe.
Yeah.
Yep. Or modify these ones to the point that you cut this flange off and you put a new flange on it that's thicker, that will take up what you lost in the cut, and then that way once the flange is totally gone, you can clean completely both sides, and then when you weld them back on, you actually do the proper job, which is keeping the puddle on this and letting it come into this, and then resurfacing them. Yeah.
Well, I think we're just gonna go for the welds right now.
Yeah.
Just for a temporary fix.
Sure.
But then I'll look into downpipes, I guess. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what brand this guy got. I always wondered. There's no.
usually guys that really give a shit about their downpipes usually have their brand on them somewhere.
Yeah, right.
These are China.
I feel like there's just some cheap
Yeah,
stuff
it's
right here.
Probably along the same lines of what David got.
Yeah,
David, I think he just went on eBay and
These
ordered some
are
downpipes off
these are
eBay.
eBay-based specials.
Well, we have to go with Speed by Design or something for their downpipes. But man. Okay, I'll look for the gasket for these, and then I'll look for.
Yeah, give me a shout. I'll
seal. Do you know like what that seal could be called though, so I could.
What?
the seal on the it would be the input or output, however you want to look at it, depending on which way it's sending the power. The one that's leaking back here.
Oh, that is a probably transfer case input shaft seal,
Transfer case input shaft seal.
or transfer case pinion seal.
Okay.
What they're gonna call that.
All right.
So definitely put a seal in it, but let me break it down now.
It's stuck on here a little bit. I pulled the bolt out. I was going to pull the drive shaft out of the way.
It's been out before. See how it's all molested right there?
Yeah.
So someone's pried it out before.
Oh wow.
But there was
Well,
a little bit of movement in it, and so when you see that, that tells me I'd have to pull up a diagram and see if that was a bearing in there or if it's a bushing
That's
in
what
there.
I'm trying to figure out what we're going to have to get for that to fix
So-
it. I'm not sure if I have.
We can put a seal in there, but if the bearing or bushing is worn, it's just going to do it again. So
and the solution,
it's really
to the bearing would be.
replace the bearing, replace whatever's causing the wobble. So essentially, what happens is the seal wasn't really bad, or this is all speculation based on the wobble. The seal isn't actually bad. What happens is the bearing or bushing is letting it move a lot,
Okay.
and then the seal is not meant to
Yeah.
seal on movement, right? So it just sits there and oblongs itself until it can't seal anymore. It's really common on like transmission output shaft seals and stuff like that. Like that bushing deteriorates and then that thing wobbles, and then no matter how new and soft and pliable the seal is, it can't seal on what essentially is an oval.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
that
know,
makes
so
sense.
it's not a very bad leak. So let's hope that it's just the seal.
Okay. I hope so too.
But there'd be no way We probably have to get this off there, isolate it, and try to see
Yeah.
what movement it is without pulling up a schematic. You'd probably pull that pinion off of there, and I'd probably look that procedure up, because if that pinion has some sort of like crush sleeve or something like that in there, then we're gonna have a preload situation, and we'd have to see what it's gonna take. I'm gonna guess that being a pinion shaft, that it's gonna have bearings, not bushings. But you don't know until I look something up.
All right.
I've never been inside one of them, so
I'll wait for you guys to pull it out. Then that way I can know for sure if I need a seal. I'll probably.
well, I mean, you're gonna need a seal no matter what. And
Okay.
by the time you get that off of there, you're doing whatever it takes to
Yeah.
fix it, because you're not gonna be able to put it back together
Yeah.
not correctly. So
I'll have to go to Portland for the seal at this point.
Step one, well, you just ship it.
That works too, I guess.
The step one would be me to go get it. If you want to address that, I'll pull up a schematic and see what's behind there, so that if it takes a bunch of stuff, you can plan that accordingly.
Okay. Yeah. I do want that leak fixed, preferably. All right, guys. So I made a trip to Nissan after that to go get the prices for the head downpipe gasket and the transmission rear output shaft seal. One of those, something called like that. But they're printing me out this diagram right here, and 1445 is the downpipe gasket, and I was like, yo, how much is the price, right? And he's like, $82 and something cents for just for one gasket. And I'm just like, yeah, that's too expensive. So I only went in for the pricing today, just to see what the rough cost of it is. But then, obviously with the part number, you can go online and find other places that will probably sell it for cheaper, and that's exactly what I did. And I came across that Concept C Performance is only selling these for $48 each, and I need 2 of them, of course, but that's obviously a lot cheaper than OEM from dealership, of course. And then I don't have a diagram for the rear output shaft seal thing, but Nissan quoted me about $39, which is perfectly fine. I don't see a problem paying them $39 for that, but I'm obviously still gonna find it online and for cheaper, so I'm probably gonna do that anyways. But that is the update for today, guys. That's pretty much all I got. Next time you see my video, I'll probably be back in the shop. Hopefully the car will be completed, or there might be another update, more problems wrong with it, but we'll see. Thanks for tuning in to this one. I'll hopefully have a new episode up next time.